your cadence or management style kind of process, would you
Yeah.
say?
So we believe a lot in asynchronous work. So we're a remote-based company. Again, we're spread out across Canada, different time zones. So basically, the way that we work is every day we've got a stand-up where we just get on a call together, and to some degree, it's just cultural because we're all remote and asynchronous. Just a chance to see each other's faces each day and talk about your weekend or whatever else you feel like talking about, chat GPT or something. So that's our main schedule touch point. And then we have a weekly sync that we do every week. We're very transparent. We go through all our numbers, show all our financials, what's going on with all that stuff, what's going on with sales. We also do personal scorecards in that sync. So just how things are going for you personally. We really believe that the company is here for the people in the company. And I know that can sound a little bit cliche, but we try to be deliberate about doing that, like actually checking in and how are things going with family and friends, and track that on a scorecard. And if there's something that's not going great, have conversations about what can be done to make those things better. So that's once a week we have that touch point as well. And then from aside from that, what we really try and lean into is how to do asynchronous work as well as possible, leaning on things like Loom. We love Loom. Slack, I love Slack less. Asana, written communication, and really just try and see how we can do that really well, because that gives people a lot more flexibility around their time. And that's something where, other than some of these fairly minimal fixed touch points, it's just much more about finding the time that works for you. Things come up, family stuff comes up, you have to go to an appointment, whatever. Again, most of the time really don't care. And especially for a role like this where it's more in the back end building stuff, it's more just about whatever schedule and cadence works for each person as individual, as long as they're getting their shit done.
Is there anything else about Parakeeto or the team that you wanted to talk about that didn't come up yet?
Yeah, I think one of the things I mentioned a little bit is that both Marcel and I are like business data nerds. And I think it's true of everyone in the company, where like we love getting into data and getting into utilization and net margins and having deep conversations about the very specific what delivery margin really means, what is COGS, what isn't COGS. And we believe in it from both a standpoint of this kind of very quantitative, data driven lens of thinking about business, but also very much from this lens of trying to bring these business insights, this degree of business intelligence to these smaller firms. Most of our firms are maybe 30, 40, sometimes even smaller, 10, 15 people, and they just can't afford the talent and the infrastructure and the time to get data systems in place. So they're running blind. Like it blows our mind all the time. How many of these companies have no idea if they're profitable or not for a year, until 2 months after the end of the year, they get numbers from their accountant. And that even those numbers often are really suspect. So we really believe in the importance and the value of trying to give these insights to these smaller companies and how important that can be for their survival. Like another thing is just most people don't realize for these agencies how many of them are just hanging on. They're just on the edge, and these small improvements, 5-10% profitability, can really make the difference between being able to keep the lights on, having to let people go. So we really believe in that. And I think that's something that will make a big difference for someone looking to join the team, is that type of, again, business data nerdery, as well as this belief in the impact data can have for small business, and trying to bring it to that space will help them be passionate about what we're doing, but I think also help them fit in with the culture here as well.